So I grew up on salt water, and I love the salt water, but there's some hard memories to remember and some fun times. It was very fun to live over there. I ran around the whole island. I don't know how many miles, but I'd run clear around the island out there. My grandma had cows and horses and pigs and sheep, so springtime we'd herd the sheep into her corral, and people would go across from mainland over there to shear my grandma's sheep, and grandma would take the wool and she'd sell the wool. In the summertime, we had many people come across and stay here and go fishing herring, fishing fish, all different kinds of fish.
Nautsiam, hello, howdy, and welcome, Nishalacha, to the Wisdom Keepers video series. In this series, we gather elders, culture bearers, and youth, visiting our culturally significant places, sharing who we are by learning about where we come from and where we remain since time immemorial. Students, together with their teachers and guidance from tribal leaders, developed interview questions and prepared to listen, learn, and grow from sharing time and place with the ones who carry our Shalangan. By creating this series, we hope to inspire other youth to seek elders and culture bearers for connection and wisdom outdoors. All youth can look to these videos as a model for how to ask questions, listen to their elders, and understand where they come from. Lummi Nation high school students from the Blackhawk Productions Arts and Media program volunteered to interview elders and culture bearers at locations chosen by elders and culture bearers. Each community elder holds sacred important locations and stories relative to these places. While chosen for their importance, the places shared in this series are by no means our only sacred locations. Many places are sacred to our communities and within our families. This is your host, Cyrus James, member of the Tulalip Tribes, and longtime co-producer with Children of the Setting Sun Productions.
My grandmother lived up on the hill over there. We lived over here on the Lummi Island. My dad was a reef netter. We lived out in this bay right over here across from us. We used a rowboat to go across and back. So my dad was a reef knitter, and reef knitting was the thing. We had those great big boats where they'd reef knit, and there was only 3 or 4 people that lived right across from where I'm looking, and the other people would come in the summertime and live in little wooden shacks. Of course, everything was made out of wood houses, wood, but the wood shacks are all gone. Comes from England, but we're Lummies. I'd rather be Lummi than English, but I'm part English too, so part French. Because we're mixed up with different nationalities, you know. But I wanted to be a Lummi. That's who I am. My grandmother had her grandchildren and Lawrence from the Lawrence family, whoever would come across from mainland, and they were her workers, and she had them cut the hay, dry it, shock it, put it in the barn, and then she'd feed them. And at that time, when it was pay to pay, she would go in and dig in her purse and pay 25 cents or 50 cents or $1. That was their pay. That was lots of money to them.
Identity is one of the most important things you guys need to understand. The blue side, of course, if we understand last names, Ballou, French Canadian, Old Man Blue came from Stallo, Fraser River. When the US-Canada border was created, he was on this side of the border after it was created, so we just ended up staying here, yeah? And of course, rules and regulations we had to follow. All federal policy affected Indigenous communities. That was one of them, yeah?
I haven't even stepped foot out of Bellingham, so I barely make it out of the res half of the time. So I'm a little res rat.
We had horses, work horses. They weren't riding horses, they were work horses. My dad pulled a wagon, and that's how we put the hay, and it would go in the barn, and the men would scoop the hay off in the wagon, and it would go in the barn. And we had to run around, chase the sheep, clear around.
It's like 4 miles.
Yeah, it's a long, we'd have to go down the hill, around, come back over here, bring them here.
Did you have fences here for them? They're just free.
No, it was opened. Of course, there were some fences, but for the sheep, for Grandma lived up there on the hill, she had everything. You know, she had a truck, she had smokehouse, she had root houses where she put her potatoes, her carrots, and things like that for winter time. They dug up the ground, rooted with their nose. That's why you see dips. If you're coming along, there's dips in the ground where the sheep, the pigs, used to sleep in the dirt.
So they were free to
Yeah.
run? And then you smoked the ham?
No,
You sold them?
sell them.
Sell them, yeah. That was probably good money for,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's survival. Yeah. My grandma, she knew everything.
She put it this way, you have to understand what your role is in your family and community. And yet, more importantly, you have to practice that role. And she told us, if you don't practice it and use your role, it's gonna leave you. It's gonna leave you forever. And so, as I look back, one of the siblings had a great role in Lummi. Stopped using it, and it never came back to her. That true gift. We have to remember each one of us has a gift, yeah, as Indigenous people. And it was mainly a requirement when I was growing up. You guys probably say, I would hate to live in that time. But you know, it wasn't hard. The Creator gives you guys a role. It isn't your parent or your mother or father. You know, it's one of those belief systems we have to have, yeah?
What do you think the youth could learn from Portage these days?
Don't wish for it, work for it. I mean, it's up to you kids to get your brain thinking. Nobody's going to help you. 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 Nobody. You think your parents are going to help. No. Nobody's going to help you. You have to do it yourself. Nobody will help. Maybe you could ask them, what's a good idea? You can listen or not listen. It's like listening to your teacher, or do you want to not listen to a teacher? Your parents are your teacher. That's your first teacher. Grandpa, Grandma is your first teacher. If you don't know them, get to know them. They know more than you know, your grandpa and grandma. Not you, but them. Not me, but you. You or me, you or me, you or me.
I've had like cousins, older cousins who are like my siblings, and they all want to see me like walk across the stage and graduate. And I'm glad for that, because my family is going to be one of the few who has all their children graduating. You better graduate.
Oh no, I'm just gonna throw it all away at the end. You say, oh man, Vivian and JoJo aren't here, there's no point.
I'll go to your graduation. I will go to your graduation, because I know you're gonna come to mine.
Yeah, you better do me a solid to come to mine.
I'll get you flowers.
Because our elders are our knowledge keepers, they truly are the most valuable experts that we have. To preserve and protect our stories and knowledge for future generations, interviews were recorded and edited by children of the Setting Sun Productions, a Lummi-led nonprofit storytelling group. Wisdom Keepers is a collaborative production led by Lummi Natural Resources and produced between esteemed Lummi elders and culture bearers, Lummi Nation High School Blackhawk production students, and children of the Setting Sun Productions, a Lummi-led nonprofit storytelling group. Thank you, and Haishka, for learning and growing together with us, or as we say, Jacental.
After my aunties died, we stopped going. So it wasn't really about the place, it was really about the people who you're with.